Hey guys, and welcome back to episode 101 of the Sim Racing Show. And this week, Thrustmaster might have just made one of the most important moves in their ecosystem in years, because they've just technically dropped a load cell upgrade for the Raceline pedals and it's sold out almost instantly. So while they're really that good, I've already tested them and I'll let you know exactly what I think in just a second. But also, Forza Horizon 6 is finally getting hands-on impressions, including how it actually feels on a wheel, including for myself. And ASETEK Evo is shaping up its next big update with some serious cars and tracks. Le Mans Ultimate is quietly building real momentum, and iRacing has made a decision that's got the community seriously upset. We'll also talk about Project Motor Racing, free-to-play, Formula Legends, Over the Hill, and more. Let's get into it. So Thrustmaster have literally just dropped a load cell brake upgrade for the Raceline pedals, and this is a pretty huge move for their ecosystem because it's actually 100 kg load cell rated that comes with a package with new springs, elastomer I'll get into, and a 3-pedal base plate all included. So if you're already on the 2-pedal Raceline, this is the upgrade that turns it into an actual serious load cell pedal set overnight. It's quite expensive in the US at $179. It's £119 in the UK. It works on PC and whatever consoles you've got your T598 on. But the biggest news about this has been the reaction. It's already sold out on Thrustmaster's site. I think it's sold out pretty much immediately, which tells you one of two things. One, and both could be true. One, there's probably huge demand for this from Thrustmaster users. But two, Thrustmaster almost certainly probably didn't produce enough. So I've tested it and I think that it's a pretty solid upgrade. I'm surprised they didn't include 2 elastomers in the box, so you have to use a spring with your elastomer, or you can use 2 springs. I'm also surprised that they haven't at the same time done a new T598 bundle that just comes with a 2-pedal set, throttle and load cell brake for cheaper than getting a T598 and then getting their upgrade. So bit confusing from Thrustmaster. It feels like they're tripping over themselves a little bit. I do have my usual affiliate links for that product, as I have for pretty much every product. I'll put them in the description if you want to check the availability. If you decide to buy it, obviously I get a little commission on that as well. Now let's get to the second biggest sim racing story of the week, which is of course Forza Horizon 6, because some creators, including myself, have actually been playing an early build already. So I've been hands-on quite a long time with Forza Horizon 6, and I'm just going to break down the most important things I think are important for you. Firstly, for me, it feels really good on a wheel. I was using Logitech G Pro. It's the least hassle wheel I have. It just works on Xbox, and it felt pretty good in Forza Horizon 6. No true force that I could detect, which is quite annoying. However, all of the cars felt quite unique, and they felt even more unique as I tuned them. So that gameplay loop of upgrading your cars in Forza, which is always really fun to do, and then understanding how the cars drive, is going to be really addictive. The other supercharging components of that is you can now drive to time attack circuits in the world. You literally just drive up, you go on the circuit, and you start lapping and doing time attack. Absolutely fantastic. There are big billboards there and digital screens where you can see in-game where you're placing on the leaderboard, and if you go first in the world, as I did, you kind of goes with fireworks and says congratulations, you're first in the world. I've also been taking my real world car to the track in England, so this is basically the same thing virtually in Japan. Absolutely fantastic. The map to me feels absolutely incredible. I love the map. It's so much better for me than Mexico. I did not like Mexico at all. This fixes pretty much all of that on the map front. The traffic density isn't as high as I would like. I hope on PC it can go higher. I love the way that you can discover cars and you can see secondhand cars for sale and you can buy them. I saw a Toyota GR Yaris for sale. I got the credits. I came back. I bought it. It was an unbelievable car to drive. So I'm really bullish car to drive. So I'm really optimistic about Forza Horizon 5. I've been playing it early. That's not paid stuff. I've been paid to say any of that or paid any money to do it. It's just an early access code. But I've been really impressed. Hopefully they can bring True Force and make those other tweaks as well. Now we will speak about Evo 0.6 and Le Mans Ultimate winning players in just a moment. Before that, I want to say a big thanks to today's sponsor, GT Omega, because a lot of people have been asking me about this bucket seat. Like, what is that bucket seat? That is the inertia bucket seat from GT Omega. I don't think they do white ones anymore because they're too difficult to clean, I know I spend a lot of time cleaning my one, but they do them in some pretty funky colours. So if you do want to get a bucket seat, go to gtmega.com, and also you can use my code Kireth5 for an extra 5% off. Big thanks to GTMega for sponsoring another sim racing show. Now switching over to ASETEK Evo, because it looks like we're getting a much better understanding of 0.6. So Kunos have the 0.6 update. Kunos have confirmed that the Porsche 911 G3R Rennsport is coming. This is a track-only monster that is meant to sit above the usual GT3 performance level. So it's not really like a road car at all, it's pure circuit stuff. And it's also got the Ferrari 288 GT I've let you know about before, and the Lamborghini Countach LP5000 that's going to be very interesting to drive. Could be a bit of a disaster to drive, as well as the Ferrari 296 GT3 and the Ford Mustang GT3. Plus we're getting Sebring as well, which is one of those tracks where you know you're going to get a good test of the sim, because in reality it's bumpy, fast and brutal. Are we going to get that in ASETEK Evo? Let's see. And Kunos are still holding one more car back, one final mystery slot that I can't let you know about yet, but you can play guess the last car in the comments until they drop it. Now from Evo to another game that came out of early access and is now going from strength to strength, Le Mans Ultimate news. We've got the type of stat of the game that tells you everything about the momentum. Le Mans Ultimate has just hit another new concurrent player record on Steam. 8,800 players at once, and it's not happening by accident. A lot of different things are coming together at the same time. ELMS DLC is now complete, so you had Paul Ricard, Silverstone and Catalunya came with LMP3s and all of them, if I remember. If you have the whole set, if I remember, you also get different configurations of their circuit, including Silverstone International, which I really like. The Genesis Hypercar being a free drop added a lot of interest to the game, and the latest game update with some little tweaks has kept people coming back again. And there's still single player career mode expected later this year. If they get that right, that is huge for Le Mans Ultimate. I was playing Project Motor Racing, which we'll come into later in the sim racing show. Only 9% of people in Project Motor Racing on Xbox have done the license test to race online in ranked. So 90% of people on Xbox are not doing online ranked racing in Project Motor Racing. So imagine how many people may come to LMU if it has a good single player mode. Could be huge. And also we have the console release being targeted for 2027. So after what I called a very rocky start, remember I bought that game with my own money, I was playing it a long way through early access when they were adding all the features like VR etc. It was very rough at times, but it's now looking like the sim that's actually building forward. If you were gonna ask me which is gonna be the big sim racing game in 2028, this could be bigger than iRacing. Now let me know in the comments actually, is Le Mans Ultimate becoming your main sim in 2026, or are you still loyal to iRacing, ACC, Gran Turismo 7, wherever your home sim is? And that does bring us to iRacing, because their latest special event has landed with a bit of backlash from its community. So normally the Spring Road America 500 is exactly what it sounds like. Big, fast, classic IMSA energy at Road America with the historic monsters like the Nissan GTP ZX Turbo and the Audi 90 Quattro. But instead, they stuck it at Laguna Seca this time, and people were not happy about it because Laguna is tight. It really punishes mistakes when you jump in the sand, and you combine it with cars that are already a handful. The official practice can turn into absolute chaos. Add in some physics tweaks that people weren't exactly cheering for, and the result was actually quite predictable. It started feeling less like a special event endurance and more like a giant crash compilation. Driver numbers reportedly dipped compared to previous years, and even compared to the standard IMSA series races that happened at the same venue. And this is a part that really rubbed people the wrong way. The explanation. iRacing basically didn't give much detail on why the changes happened and why they were quick to point out there was no monetary incentive. They mentioned working with a partner to get more promotion for the event, but they didn't properly explain the reasoning. It left this awkward gap where everyone's thinking, why are we going to Laguna Seca? Why these changes right now? Remember, if you're watching Sim Racing Show, you'll remember in episode 100 we talked about Race Room getting Laguna Seca under license for free, which is a bit of an upgrade on iRacing where you now have to pay for it. And now we're also seeing some oddness with Laguna Seca. So let me know in the comments if you've been involved in this. Did iRacing get this special event wrong, or do you like the idea actually of taking these historic punishing IMSA cars to a punishing track. Now, staying with games that are doing things a little bit maybe the wrong way, let's speak about Project Motor Racing, because they are in rebuild mode, and this is the next step. Project Motor Racing has already had free-to-play weekends on PC, and now Xbox Series X and X for Game Pass subscribers. Not completely free. If you have Game Pass, it's free, so however you want to term it. I did play it. I made a whole video on it, and if you want to boil it down to me, track limits are horrendous in Project Motor Racing. They need to fix it. It disencourages you from actually attacking curbs, which is just stupid. The graphics, I don't mind too much. They're not the best graphics. They're quite bad graphics for current gen, but I actually don't mind them too much. They're fine for me. The lobby system just needs a rework, and I said this since day one, since the first time I played online in the press build back in the day. I said they need to rework this lobby system, because you can't be sitting there looking at a screen waiting for a countdown. I saw people waiting. There were 3 people, which was the most populated social lobby there was on the system. All the others had less than 3 people, but these 3 people were waiting for 5 hours and 40 minutes, if I remember, to get into a hypercar race at Interlagos. So that needs to be fixed. Now, a quick one for old school racing fans, because Formula Legends has dropped a new track DLC pack, and it's basically 3 big F1 flavored names: Austria, Malaysia and Bahrain. Malaysia and Austria also come with classic and modern layouts, and Austria even gets a proper vintage version. It's $4.99, it's already out on PC, PlayStation and Xbox, and the Switch version is meant to follow shortly. And for that price, if you like the game already, it's the kind of DLC that seems like a little bit of a no-brainer, just making your package feel more complete. Over the Hill, if you remember this, that cozy off-roading game has just hit over 1 million wish lists on Steam, which is massive. They also announced a closed testing phase running from 24th, 26th of April, and it sounds like a release date announcement is coming around the same time. If you know Fun Selector, because they did Art of Rally, you already know what this probably means. Physics that feels satisfying, a really clean art style, and a more chilled driving experience where you're not sweating lap time, you're just enjoying the roads, terrain, and the vibe. And a final thing that's just come into the sim racing show, ASETEK, as I understand it, are doing a golden ticket for the Sim Racing Expo in Charlotte in the USA, which is taking place in May. It's only open to US and Canada residents. I'll try and put a link in the description somewhere, but basically I think it's meant to be worth around $3,000 of experience, including going to the NASCAR race at the same time, which is pretty crazy. Make sure you keep watching the channel for more stuff with ASETEK soon, by the way. Hope you enjoyed the Sim Racing Show 101, and I will see you in the next one.